Happy spooky season, everyone. Your girl Tay here, and I'm bringing you another Let's Talk Wild podcast episode. Today is October 31st, 2024, and this is episode 67, The Animal Species of R.L. Stine's Goosebumps. Since it's Halloween and my birthday, yes, happy birthday to me, it's only right to dedicate an episode to one of the horror literature kings, R.L. Stine, and the scary, spooky, monstrous animal species in his Goosebumps books, who have continued to scare us year after year after year. But before we get into that, make sure you guys follow and subscribe to the podcast on all podcasting and social media platforms. You can support the podcast by becoming a member or sending a donation to Venmo or PayPal. The links will be in the description box. Also, hit to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and check out the videos over there once you're done listening over here. You guys already know the drill. Now, let's talk wild. Happy birthday to me. This episode means so much to me because I get to talk about a couple of things I love. R.L. Stine, books, scary stuff, and animals, of course. Being born on Halloween is definitely the reason why I love all things spooky. I'm a huge book reader, and I've talked about different books I've read on the Let's Talk Wild Live on YouTube when I give a life update after I discuss the live topic. So if you want to get into those, head over to the YouTube and watch a couple of the lives after you finish listening and watching this, though, okay? I do have timestamps, so you guys can skip right to life update and get into the books, okay? Yeah, so now back to books. Scary books, spooky books, R.L. Stine's books, his Goosebump books, okay? I remember being so excited to have money for the book fair as a kid. I always looked for a science book, animal book, or a Goosebumps book, of course. And even when I didn't have money, I always checked out RL's books at the library. But having money to actually buy them and add them to my library was always a treat. Trick or treat. I didn't know at the time what RL looked like, his history. All I knew was he was a great writer, a literature genius who wrote great horror books for children. He's referred to as the Stephen King of children's literature, and I can agree with that. R.L. Stine, real name Robert Lawrence Stine, was born October 8, 1943 in Columbus, Ohio. He's a Libra. And I think being born in October, no matter if you're a Libra or a Scorpio, you just naturally gravitate to spooky and scary things. His family was poor and he was a shy child. He says that's one of the reasons he liked writing in his room, not wanting to face the world when you have to wear your family's old hand-me-down clothes. Well, listen, R.L., you went from rags to riches. The pockets were empty, but the pages were filled. Now the pages are filled and the pockets are full. I know that's right. Okay, that is a Let's Talk Wild original. Now when he was 9, he found an old typewriter in the attic and he began typing stories and joke books. So not only is he into horror, he is a jokester too. Now his mother wanted him to go outside, but he wanted to write. He wanted to type. He also loved comic books, drawing them and reading the scary ones. While attending Ohio State University, from his sophomore year until graduation, he was the editor of the school's humor magazine, The Sundial. He graduated in 1965 with a bachelor's degree in English. And in 1967, he traveled to New York and snagged a gig being a writer for Scholastic, writing for school magazines. He continued to write joke books and created the Bananas Humor magazine. Now, back then, he went by the name Jovial Bob Stine. And in 1986, he wrote his first teen horror novel, Blind Date. It was a hit. His Fear Street book series was created in 1989, and they were also a hit and bestseller. Then came Goosebumps in 1992. It took the world by storm. We couldn't get enough of R.L.'s scary stories, so much so that the Goosebumps original TV series was created. It took the stories from the books and made them into television form that ran from 1995 to 1998. The theme song was amazing. It was created by a Canadian composer, Jack Lenz. A new series was released on Hulu and Disney Plus in 2023. A second season is in the works. I enjoyed watching the series, and even when it was on television, I continued to read the books. So Goosebumps went from books to TV, then the big screen, the movies. In 2015, the Goosebumps movie was released through Sony Pictures and starred Jack Black. It had the movie style of Jumanji, which I loved. Some of the species of the franchise were released, and Slappy was just going around bringing different things to life to destroy and cause havoc around town and to try to, get to R.L. Stine and destroy him, honey. It was a lot going on, okay? Slappy was not playing, okay? He was not playing. Y'all already know he ain't been playing since the books, okay? So in the movies, y'all definitely know he was showing out, okay? So, the characters have to stop him and stop everything that's going on. And then the second movie, Goosebumps 2, Haunted Halloween, it was released in 2018. It has somewhat of the same plot as the first film. Some of the Goosebumps species were released accidentally, causing havoc in the town, and the characters have to find a way to stop them. Now, before we get into some of the species that's been scaring us for years and years and years and causing havoc, okay? Make sure you guys show your girls some birthday love by subscribing, following, sharing, and liking Let's Talk Wild on all podcasting platforms and on YouTube. If you would like to support even further, you can become a podcast member or donate to the Let's Talk Wild PayPal or Venmo. The links will be in the description box. Now, let's hop back into the show. Cue the animals. Now, I wouldn't just jump right into it without giving you guys a spoiler warning. Yes, spoilers ahead, okay? Yes. So proceed with caution. R.L. used different species of animals in his books, giving them a scary look, taking sometimes ordinary animals you would consider cute or harmless and making them into creepy and menacing monsters, like the rabbits and rodents. Bad Hair Day. The cover alone creeps me out. This story was in book and TV form. It's about a kid named Tim who meets his favorite magician, Amazo. I love saying that, Amazo. But in actuality, the magician is really a rabbit. He was turned into a bunny by a sorcerer, and in order for him to break his curse, he has to get a kid to agree to help with his act. Tim agrees, and he's turned into Amazo's new assistant, Fluffy the White Rabbit. For Monster Blood 2, we get another cute animal turned into a rabbit monster. This time, a green glob turns a classroom hamster into a huge rodent with some scary teeth, okay? I love the cover. I like how the hamster is just like bursting out of the cage, looking like it's ready to cause havoc in the classroom because them kids ain't been feeding him and changing his water enough, okay? He's tired. He over it. Let the green glob take over him. He's ready to wreak havoc and chew on everything in the classroom. All the pencils, all the crayons, all the wooden tables, okay? Right. Now, the birds are flying in. The cuckoo clock of doom. This book cover is very sinister. I love birds, but honey, this bird creeps me out so bad. And what makes it even worse, I don't like cuckoo clocks. And Goosebumps is to blame. This story was in book and TV form. It's about a kid who was told not to touch the antique clock after his father brought it home. He doesn't listen and turns the clock hands back, and then he begins to become younger day by day. Moral of the story, when your parents tell you not to touch something, don't, okay? Listen to your parents. Night of the Squawker is from the Goosebumps Slappy World book series. It's about a brother and sister who find and try to help an injured bird. The bird scares the brother and bites the sister, and then the sister starts to behave like a bird, or from the words of the book, going to the birds. I actually love the cover because I'm from Birdland, Baltimore, of course. The Ravens football team, our mascots are the Ravens birds. So listen, I want the Ravens to come bursting through just like this bird here on this daggone cover, okay? I want the Ravens to come through looking real menacing like this, okay? Scaring everybody on a football field. You feel me? Yes. So I love it. Now, from air to the sea, the aquatic species are swimming in. Deep Trouble 2, the first book was okay, but the cover for the second book really reeled me in, pun intended. The creepy, big-eyed, sharp-toothed goldfish was a sight to see. It was released Pun intended again. It was released in book and TV form. It's about a brother and sister that spend their summer in the Caribbean when they notice that the fish are really different. They are getting bigger and monstrous, even the pet goldfish. Say My Name, Say My Name is from the House of Shivers series and is book 4. It's a new book available for pre-order and it will be released on March 4th, 2025. Something fishy is going on. What happens when a talking fish, a runaway dog, and a herd of hog-like creatures descend on the woods behind Cody Bradsman's house? An absolute nightmare. His friend Sam wanted to stay inside and play video games all day, but Cody insisted they go wading in the creek. What starts as a fun morning in the water quickly turns into the scariest day the two friends ever experienced. If Cody can't figure out why everything is going wrong, he's worried he won't live to swim another day. The cover art is so dope and pulled me in immediately. Like, some books, you really need that, cover art to really draw you in, and I'm excited to read it once it's released. Now let's hit back to land and let the reptiles creep through. Pun intended, because the next story is Calling All Creeps. It was released in book and TV form. It's about a kid named Ricky who tries to get back at the editor-in-chief of their school paper by playing a prank on her, but it backfires. Instead of the editor getting prank calls, Ricky gets the calls, and they are from lizards who think Ricky is their commander, and they planned on turning everyone else into creeps. I mean, he did say calling all the creeps. They said, oh, this our commander, he calling out to us. He need us. He need us. Oh my goodness. And the creeps were also in the movies. So yeah, shout out to the creeps. The Creep Squad, absolutely not. Like the Creep Squad from Love and Hip Hop, New York, honey, absolutely not. Not Peter Guns and Richie D. And who was the other one? I forgot his daggone one. Cisco. Yes, the Creep Squad, honey, a mess. Goosebumps Most Wanted, Lizard of Oz, is about a girl named Kate who takes a trip to Australia with her family to find rare species of lizards, and they end up buying an egg. The egg breaks and a lizard emerges and bites Kate. She starts to notice her skin changing. It looks like scaly lizard skin. She starts eating insects, crawling on the floor on all fours, and attacking her brother. You would think it was because of the lizard bite, but in actuality, Kate and her family are part lizard and part human shapeshifters. Now, these next species will give the reptiles a hard time. They won't be able to eat them without a fight. The insects and arachnids. My faves, the giant praying mantises, show up in the Goosebumps movie and TV series. The book, A Shocker on Shock Street, is about two friends who must survive being scared to death at a horror theme park. They love horror movies, especially Shocker on Shock Street movies. But when they visit the new Shocker Studio theme park, they get the scare of their lives. First, their tram gets stuck in the cave of the living creeps. Then they're attacked by a group of enormous praying mantises. Real life is a whole lot scarier than the movies, but Shock Street isn't real, is it? I don't know. You guys let me know. Are You Terrified Yet? Is a part of the Goosebumps 2000 series. I love the cover art. It's so icky, creepy looking with the oozing like saliva, spit, secretions coming from the arachnid's mouth. I love it. Now, the story is about a boy named Craig who is very brave and has done some great deeds that show how courageous he is. Now, some bullies become jealous of him and, they try to scare him by putting him up to different tests, like putting his hand in a jar full of spiders for 5 minutes. Did he do it? Of course he did. His hand was swollen like hell, but he did it. Double or nothing. I know that's right, Craig. Craig said, I ain't scary. I'm standing on business. Let me put my hand in there. Oh, you want double or nothing? Oh, double the time? Nothing. It's all good. He ain't care. They put him up to several different tests, honey, and he just was eating it up. He ain't care. Like, this is nothing to me. I know that's right. Shout out to all the Craigs in the world that are so courageous and brave. And last but not least, the Canines and the Felines. Goosebumps Most Wanted, Frankenstein's dog. I love this cover. This dog may be Frankenstein's dog, but I've seen real dogs that look just like it. Yikes. Absolutely. Now, Kat is reluctant to visit her Uncle Vic Frankenstein because of all the rumors about him, but Kat is relieved to find that even though he lives in a dark old castle-like mansion, Uncle Vic is quiet. He's a gentleman, a scientist interested in building robots with artificial intelligence. Also, Kat loves Poochie, Vic's small, adorable, fluffy white dog. But after an accident occurs in her uncle's lab, strange things begin to happen. Has Kat created a monster, or is it something else responsible for the horror that is unleashed? Goosebumps Hall of Horrors. Claws. I'ma sink my claws, pun intended, deep into this story. Mickey is cat sitting his neighbor's Mrs. Kaplan's cat Bella while she's on vacation. Bella escapes and is hit by a truck. Mickey and his friend Amanda decide to replace Bella with a lookalike cat from their local pet store, Cat Heaven. They find a cat, but the store won't sell it to them, so they steal it and take it back to the neighbor's house. Strange things begin to happen. Mickey thinks he's hearing cat cries, but no cats were around in his room or at school. But he eventually comes face to fur, not face to face, but face to fur, with a group of cats, which are called a clouder. And feral cats in a group are called a colony instead. The more you know, FYI, okay? He realizes the cats are dead and Bella is one of them. Mickey tries to take the cat back, but the worker tells him that Bella is dead and they ain't taking it back. The workers were chasing Mickey around, trying to explain to him, but you know, kids will be kids. So Mickey goes back to Mrs. Kaplan's house and she shows up back from vacation asking, why are all these cats in my house? Now Mickey and Amanda tell her the truth and she has to let them know Bella been dead. She been dead for 4 years. She's able to bring Bella back by taking her to Cat Heaven, and if an undead cat goes outside, its death will be reenacted. When they stole Bella, they accidentally let out some other undead cats, and since they weren't taken by their true owners, they started to haunt Mickey. To send the cats back to Cat Heaven, he gets his pet mouse Zorro and coaxes the cats outside with it, and once outside, they had their death reenacted, and they were sent back to Cat Heaven. He did have to sacrifice his pet mouse, but one day he saw and visited a store called Mouse Heaven and found Zorro there. Child, I would have been so mad at Mrs. Kaplan. Girl, why would you want me to watch your cat when it's dead? I love cats, but dang, you could have given him a heads up, girl. But you know what? He probably wouldn't have believed her, and he still would have ended up going through this anyway. So there's that. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode and the stories. Reading and talking about the books brought me back to my childhood. One of my favorite memories, reading Goosebumps and actually getting goosebumps because I was scared and nervous about the plot and how things would end. I love that I was able to do this on Halloween, on my birthday, for y'all, and for me. Thank you, R.L. Stine, and happy Halloween. What do you guys think? Let me know how you feel about today's topic, the animal species of R.L. Stine's Goosebumps. Make sure you guys comment, follow, share, and subscribe to the podcast on all podcasting and social media platforms. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and check out my videos, shorts, and playlists of all things animals. And you can support even further by becoming a podcast subscription member or sending a donation to the Let's Talk Wild Venmo or PayPal. The links will be in the description box. Love yourself, one another, your pets, the animals, and the monsters. Bye.